Warning. The Speedgolf Baby Audio Experience contains radical ideas about how fast you can play golf and how good you can feel while you play. If that's not your thing, there are 1,000 golf podcasts you can listen to instead. And now, Speedgolf Baby, let's go. I'm Adam Lorton, executive producer of Speedgolf Baby. Joining me today, now that he's finished more than 100 consecutive days of running, it is the director of Speedgolf USA, Scott Dawley.
Adam, it is good to be back talking to you, man.
Very good indeed. Welcome to the Speedgolf Baby Audio Experience. We're keeping up with Speedgolf, the faster, fitter variant of the beautiful game of golf. Whether you carry a bag or a silo, please subscribe to the podcast on whatever platform you're listening to. Please rate and review us. It's a par 5 for Speedgolf Baby, 5 stars. And if you haven't yet, check out 24 things you should know about Speed Golf in 2024 on the Speedgolf Baby YouTube channel. And finally, if you're Speed Golf curious, get the Speed Golf Starter Pack for free at speedgolf.baby/start. Now, welcome to the show. It's our very first episode, and you'd be doing us a solid if you shared this with a friend so we can build just a little bit of momentum right here as we're leaving the tee box. Scott is with me today to preview the 2024 United States Tour. So that's going to include the qualification process for Team USA members who want to go to the Speed Golf World Championships this November. I'm one of those people who wants to go to the World Championships, although I'm not expecting to qualify automatically. Make sure your passport is renewed because we are heading to Japan. At least some of us are, Scott. Now, I'm hearing that the field at Worlds is limited or it's capped. What's the story there?
It is capped. I think a lot of it has to do with maybe being in Japan, the golf course culture in Japan, or the ability or difficulty of arranging a tournament over 2 days. Could be quite difficult. So the other thing is when you space tee times apart, Adam, 5 minutes, you can only get in so many tee times per day. So like in the middle of summer, you can get in about 84 tee times from early in the morning until the last part of light when you could realistically get a good round of golf in. This time of year when we're going to be there in November, in mid-November, it's actually going to be shorter daylight hours. So they have given us as many tee times as we can possibly have to accommodate as many people as possible. So that number is 60 this year. We know Speed Golf Japan is going to have 20 of those spots, which then leaves us 40 spots.
40 spots for USA? I love it.
Wouldn't that be great? But actually, there's one thing that's even better, Adam, which is that we have so many other nations that want to participate. So this year, we're going to have upwards of 10 nations present, even with that small field of 60, yeah. And we're going to be inducting 3 or 4 new nations into the International Speed Golf Alliance at the World Championships. So we've been able to carve out 10 to 12 spots. We have a meeting with the ISGA coming up on the 10th, so that's next Sunday. We're going to discuss how many spots each nation is looking to lock up. But for us in the USA, we're looking at 10 to 12 spots, Adam.
Excellent. And I've heard in the previews that we're planning for 10, hoping for 12. And if that's the case, that we're planning on having 8 automatic qualifiers and 2 to 4 captain's picks. Now that's 10 to 12 golfers, including open division, women, and seniors. Yes?
Yeah, that's correct. In fact, we're going to carve out, a team of a women's team, and then we're going to have a senior team. So that's 4 spots right there. And then we're going to have 4 other spots available for anybody else to play in the open division or go as an amateur.
Yep.
And then, of course, we have our 2 captain's picks. If we get 12 spots, then we have a chance for 2 more people to come.
Assuming 10 members, just for those keeping track at home, that would be 4 automatic qualifiers in the open division, 2 automatic qualifiers for women, 2 automatic senior qualifiers, and 2 captain's picks, if there are 10.
That's correct.
Excellent. Now, let's talk about how a golfer can qualify. Now, on the PGA Tour, it's easy. You earn FedEx Cup points proportionally to how well you finish in each tournament. Bigger tournaments are worth more points, they're also worth more money. And when you have dozens of golfers at every event, that makes sense. But I, Adam Lorton, finished 4th place at a Speed Golf Major last year. Not because I played awesome, but because Jason Hawkins wasn't there, Wes Cup wasn't there, Nick Evans wasn't there, Steve Vansel wasn't there. Those guys weren't in attendance, so I was able to capitalize. So we needed to develop a system that rewards you for how well you play the golf course in front of you, not what place you finish in the tournament, because what place you finish in is basically determined by who decided to show up that week. Now, that was difficult when there was no speed golf course rating effectively. But everything fell into place in 2023 with my good friend, Professor Chris Hundhausen, releasing the Speed Score golf course mapping tool. So you map the golf course and it gives you what I call smart time par. So it's not just based on the distance you run, but also based on the elevation changes. Because anyone who goes to Kentucky knows, a hilly golf course of 5 miles is a lot tougher to run than a flat 5-mile golf course. So let's take any individual round of speed golf. I'm about to walk you through the qualifying math. And I'll take a course that people know well from the World Championships, Slammer and Squire. So Slammer and Squire was right about a 5-mile run. And when you map that one on the course mapper tool, according to men's time par, you would see a smart time par of 52 minutes and about 48 seconds. So that would be a smart time par of 52, and it has a course rating, the tees we played from, course rating of 68.9. You add those up together, that's 121.7. So if you played par golf at time par, you would shoot 121.7. Now, there are a few people who exceeded that, and so those players, I mean, they should get a bunch of qualifying points, and there are people who came close to that. Those people should get a good amount. So the way we set it up is that if you shoot perfect even par golf, even par speed golf, that would be worth 100 qualifying points. If you shoot bogey golf, so 18 over benchmark, then you would get 50 points for that. So Jamie Reed played one of the greatest rounds of all time, shooting 71 in like 43 minutes. That was a speed golf score of 114. His qualifying points, if he were on Team USA, he would have gotten 121 qualifying points for that. Insane. So that's the system. And let's take a less amazing golfer, Adam Lorton, Oak Mountain State Park, Alabama Speed Golf Open, shot a 135.8. So that would be worth 52 qualifying points.
Yeah, that makes sense, Adam.
Well, thanks. So that's how you earn qualifying points. Now, how many qualifying points can you earn? It would be easy to say, well, you just earn one for every round you play, right? But that would disadvantage people who can't make it to all 3 US Tour events this year. And there are going to be 7 US Tour major rounds. So there are going to be 2 rounds of the Missouri Speed Golf Open, 2 rounds at Kentucky, and then, Scott, I think this has been announced already, there are going to be 3 rounds, 54 holes at the US Open. So that's 7 competition rounds available. And we want to make sure that a golfer who can only play 4 rounds, they can only play Missouri and Kentucky, for example, that person could still qualify if they play amazing. So the qualifying system works like this. Your best 4 rounds from 2024 plus a bonus for the Speed Golf Faithful, 25% of your best round from 2023 or the 2022 World Championships, which means that we have preseason standings already. There are 11 people in the open division with qualifying points that I know of. If you think you have qualifying points and I don't mention your name, please hit me up right away. In 11th place, Adam Lorton, 13 qualifying points. So that'd be a quarter of 52. 10th place, Luke Rinaldo, 15 points. Luther Olson, 16 points. In 8th place, Nick Evans, Wes Cup in 7th. Garrett Holt, 6th. Steve Vansel, 5th. And then your top 4, if the entire 2024 season were canceled, your 4 automatic qualifiers would be Jonathan Jeff in 4th, Nick Gooden in 3rd, Scott Dawley in 2nd, and Jason Hawkins with his incredible 73 at the US Open round 1 would be in 1st place for US team qualifying. Now that's your open division. There are 2 in the women's division currently, Lauren Cupp and Courtney White, both based on their performances at World Championships. And then your senior division, there are 9 golfers, counting down from 9th, David Harding, Matt Kennedy, Paul Carroll, Jeff Smith, Andy Dalton. And your top 4 would be Tim Shrike, Rick Crump, and your top 2, your automatic qualifiers, if nothing else changed, and of course things will change, would be Gary Sobzak in 2nd, Paul Kivala in 1st. All right, brain dump over.
Adam, that is so cool, man. I will say, we've been communicating over the last few months about this, and you've been working with, Chris. A lot of thought went into this. We want to do it right, and this is the first time we've had to do this. I think that's a great step for our sport, the fact that we're having to, have a qualifying series for a limited field event that more people want to participate in than we have room. That's great for our sport, and it's great just on a foundational level for Speedgolf USA to have to be working with, Speedgolf Baby and working with Chris Hundhausen and to come up with a qualification system for where our sport is right now. And you know what? When we have $1 million purses, Adam, we may have to change the qualification system, and that's fine. But I really like what we have.
Absolutely. Well, and Scott, I appreciate your open mind because this is certainly more complicated than the qualifying process that we would like to have. I mean, I want something that you can explain in 3 bullet points, and unfortunately, I had to
Right.
talk about this for like 4 minutes before all the pieces came together. So, I mean, we strive for simplicity. This is the greatest simplicity we could achieve with the amount of time we had and the constraints that we were working under. Want to make this even simpler, easier to communicate as we go forward here. Now, would you take just a second to give us a proper preview of the US Tour? I know we've hinted at some of the details here, but first one coming up is Missouri Speed Golf Open at Horton Smith. That is going to be Memorial Day weekend.
That's right. That's a Sunday, Monday tournament. We're headed back there for now the 10th year. Can you believe it, Adam? This is going to be the 10th year of the Missouri Speed Golf Open, which for a couple of years served as the venue for the US Open. Garrett Holt and the entire speed golf community down there is just so amazing. It's great to see a tournament a decade in the making here now. We're going to head back there. Of course, it's a fast track. It's going to play a little bit different on the front end of the year than it is on the back end of the year. So it'll be interesting to see the types of irons that we're hitting into the greens and the condition of the greens. Are they going to be a little furrier or are they still going to be fast? We'll have to see. But it's going to be a great kickoff tournament because we have a great community there. And I feel that all the members of the speed golf community that are involved in this are going to want to be at that event. So I expect a lot of energy and some low scores.
Heck yeah. Yeah, if that course is just a little bit softer than it was in that 2022 US Open, things could be a lot different because I don't know about you, but I was looking at the front edge of the green on my watch, subtracting 4 and making that my number because that course was firm.
Yes. Yeah, that was nice. We played it, over the 10 years, we played it in quite a few different types of conditions.
Yeah. All right. Then United States Open, Rome, New York in June.
That's right. Yeah. The Cups reached out to me and they said, "Hey, we want to host the US Open again." And I said, "You got it. I mean, there's no question. You absolutely have it." So we were there in 2018, Adam. We were there at Rome Country Club for a 1-day US Open before we headed over to Turning Stone Resort and had the 2018 World Championships just right down the road in Verona. So we're going to be heading back there. And then over the last several years, we have now added in Tiougega Country Club, which is a Donald Ross design that's about 7 minutes from Rome Country Club. What a gem of a golf course. It's amazing. There's a third course there. They play speed golf at Wes and Lorne quite a bit. It's called Yanandasi. Now, don't ask me why Tiougega and Yanandasi, these are not standard names, but anyways, these golf courses are great. And one of the other things that Wes and Lorne proffered to me was that they wanted to host the first 54-hole Open Championship in speed golf history. And so, I get excited about that stuff. So I said, absolutely, let's make it happen. So right now we don't have the exact order of the golf courses that we're going to play, but we're going to play at least 2 golf courses, and we're going to have 3 rounds in a little over a 24-hour period. So it's taking place over 2 days, but we're going to tee off around 4 o'clock on a Saturday, and then the people that are playing 54 holes are then going to tee off at 8 a.m. the next morning, and they're going to tee off in their final round at 4 o'clock on Sunday. So it's going to be intense.
Fascinating. And by the way, if you're listening to this, you probably already know we are looking for the next great American speed golfer. We want to find somebody who can play level par golf, who can run fast, and who can potentially threaten these guys who are in their mid 40s now, who are leading up Team USA. And I can't promise a specific dollar figure, but there are sponsorship dollars at play. So if you think the next great American speed golfer, introduce them to us and let's get them playing at this US Open, okay?
Yeah, and Speedgolf USA is happy to provide grants for anybody that comes along that has both of those skill sets and just hasn't thought about putting them together yet. Definitely reach out to Adam or reach out to me at info@speedgolfusa.com.
Heck yeah. All right, and then final U.S. major. It's an institution down in the Bluegrass State. We're talking about the Kentucky Speed Golf Open, hosted by our good friend, the Hawk, Jason Hawkins. By the way, Hawk, I owe you an apology. I screwed up your camera coverage at the U.S. Open, and I deeply regret that. We're going to work on making that up to you. But I'll give a short preview of the Kentucky Speed Golf Open, my absolute favorite event on the calendar every single year. You become family in Prospect, Kentucky for a weekend. You become a short-term member of Glen Oaks Country Club. I absolutely adore the golf course. It's the ultimate test of a speed golfer, in my humble opinion. The golf course requires a ton of planning, a ton of cardio, and there's strategy in every single decision you make down there. Every decision you make has profound implications for your score.
Yes, they're also another tournament that's approaching 10 years. They're getting pretty close, but we love Glen Oaks there, and it is a challenge. You have to do some training before you go there, or else the golf course will eat you alive. So anybody planning on coming to Kentucky, make sure you start your cardio runs 6, 8 weeks in advance. Build up some of that fitness. Build a nice little base so that you can get out there and at least enjoy the struggle instead of being overcome by it.
I would also advise you to work on your emotional resilience, because setbacks will happen on that golf course. And if you can take them in stride and maybe laugh at yourself a little bit, you're going to have a better time.
Yeah, there are places on the course where you can take advantage, where there's opportunities, right? I shot 71 a couple years ago with plenty of birdies, but yeah, there's definitely your places for opportunity, and then there's places just to hang on and stay alive.
Absolutely. All right. That's your US tour preview. Anything else, Scott, before we move on to our next topic?
Yeah, I mean, you've mentioned a couple times, you've apologized for the production quality or the videos of Speedgolf Baby, and I just want to tell everybody, Speedgolf Baby's doing an amazing job. I hope you go to their YouTube channel. Hey, not just the videos. I mean, the official broadcasts are great. I love them, and they've gotten better every single tournament, Adam. And so we just stay on that path, and we got great things coming. But also, y'all need to go check out the YouTube shorts because they're hilarious. And if you haven't been there yet, you'll literally swipe and watch, 10 in a row because they are so awesome.
Appreciate that, Scott. Much love. And the shorts feed, so much credit goes to Nico. He is an absolute meme lord, and you're going to find something that you love. Like, did you see Taylor Swift reacting when you set the Speed Golf World Record?
I didn't realize that when I was setting the Speed Golf World Record, she was actually watching it at a football game. I think she was like watching her boyfriend or something, but she must have had me on her TV screen, that live feed of me draining that putt on the last hole. So Taylor Swift was watching me.
I understand that you have one more thing that you want to announce, and this isn't about the 24 season, right? This is about the 25 season.
Yeah, wanted to give plenty of notice, and we are going to be releasing the 2025 official rules of speed golf. And in there will be language that includes or that allows the use of adjustable loft golf clubs in Speedgolf USA tournaments. Now, this is something that hasn't been necessarily controversial, but there have been people on both sides of the opinion. Adam, you put out information out there. Other people have had a chance to provide their responses. And I would say, just generally speaking, let's say, because it's not exactly, but it's probably 50-50 or somewhere very close to that. For people that say, I don't think we need it. And then people that say, why not? Let's go for it. And so, the way that I lean, Adam, with Speed Golf and Speedgolf USA and everything that I've been doing, I'm always going to lean towards the side of innovation and towards the side of taking risk. This is a risk doing this. People have mentioned, hey, we want to stay relevant to, PGA Tour or traditional golf or the USGA. And I understand that, but at the same time, I'm able to look back over my decade-long experience in this sport. And not only that, but just reach back into history to see how long we have been trying to reach out and work with golf governing bodies with very little success. For that reason, I think that making this decision to allow adjustable loft golf clubs is good for us because now maybe we can see what it's like to be a little bit different, to be a little bit edgy. What's the goal of allowing this? The goal of allowing this is to achieve what we all want to achieve in speed golf, which is to discover the limits of our performance on the golf course. We want to see how fast can we go and how low can we shoot. And this equipment makes that more possible, at least in theory, right, Adam? We don't know yet. So we're going to legalize it in 2025. People are going to come out and play in tournaments. And one of two things are going to happen. One, they're not going to shoot a lower speed golf score with it. And therefore, over time, they're not going to use it anymore in tournaments. The other thing that happens is they go out and they play with it and they shoot a lower speed golf score. And therefore, what we're doing is we're moving our sport down the ladder and getting a little bit closer to the limits of what is possible in speed golf on the golf course. And I think that's worth exploring, and that's why we're going to go ahead and legalize it here in the USA, Speedgolf USA will legalize it. I can't say that for the rest of the ISGA nations, but again, we have this conversation on the 10th. This will be brought up, and every nation will have a chance to decide what they want to do in their country.
Absolutely. Well, appreciate your sharing the rationale there. As you know, I'm a fan of innovation, and also when I think about this as a decision, this is not like a tattoo. This is not something we could never reverse if we didn't like the direction it was going. This would be an easy decision to reverse if we decided that it was absolutely the wrong path. Again, I think it's the right path to legalize adjustable clubs and try to test those limits of human performance, encourage innovation in the sport of speed golf, and if we hate the direction it goes, easy to reverse.
Hey, and it's not like golf hasn't looked our way and nodded, in the past. We were keeping the flag stick in before 2019. And that was something that actually the golf governing bodies did reach out to members of our community and said, hey, what's that like with the flag stick in? Do you recommend it? Do you not? So they actually asked us questions, and it was great to see in 2019 that they now allowed the flag to stay in the hole and there's no penalty. So by doing this, it may cause golf governing bodies to look over and take an extra think about it.
Fantastic. Appreciate your bringing this announcement to the Speedgolf Baby Audio Experience. Before we wrap up, anything else any other asks, requests, thoughts that you want the audience to ponder right now?
Yeah, just if you don't know the vision that we have at the ISGA, which is really just everybody that is sold out and considers themselves somebody that's pioneering this young, fresh sport. It's been around for a while, but as an organized sport, we're really looking at something like 10 to 12 years that it's been an organized sport. So we're in the very early stages of it. This is your chance. If you're somebody that runs and plays golf, this is your chance to get involved at the ground level. So consider doing that. And not just as an athlete, but can you provide your skill set? What do you have in the business world that can help speed golf grow, where you could add your skills to a pool of other people who have skills as well, so we can get the word out, educate people about speed golf so they can understand how exciting and exhilarating it actually is to play, and that your golf score doesn't have to suffer, for example. So all these things we want to get out. We need to do it on YouTube. We need to do it on all the social media platforms. We need to do it through press releases. We need to do it through better and better speed golf official tournament coverage. We need you out there to be involved. One of the first things you can do is just join Speedgolf USA as a member. Whether you're going to be a tour player and you need to do that in order to gain qualifying points for world championships, or you're just a fan of the sport, head over to speedgolfusa.com, sign up as a member, get in touch with me at info@speedgolfusa. Let me know what your skill set is and that you want to contribute, and I will definitely find a place for you.
Fantastic, Scott. I will say that as part of that, Speedgolf Baby, we are trying to build the most comprehensive speed golf tournament database. And the bottleneck has been so far data entry. We have a lot of tournament history that we have not yet been able to get into the database, and we don't have tournament results from every geography yet. So if you would like to contribute to building the speed golf tournament database to end them all, I would love to have your assistance on this project. All right, Speed Golf family, we got to hit the road. Remember to follow Scott Dawley Golf on Instagram and Speedgolf USA on Instagram. Be sure to sign up for the Missouri Speed Golf Open or any US Tour event you plan to attend. Thanks as always to producer Nico, who puts the finishing touches on these episodes. We hope you're feeling tired but satisfied after today's effort. You're fired up about Speed Golf too, and that you're going to join us next time, probably for a throwback 2023 Missouri Speed Golf Open audio experience will probably be your next Speed Golf Baby podcast. Don't forget to watch your 2024 season preview on YouTube. And until next time, keep it in the short grass. Bye, everybody.